Hi everybody, welcome back to my LinkedIn Live. I'm Jasmine Navarro, certified wellbeing expert, working with educational institutions and companies, helping them support their family wellbeing challenges. As you know, every week I interview different experts who make a difference. And today I'm super excited to be interviewing Rob. Hi, Rob.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I started off as a personal trainer.
Right.
I've got history in the military, and I was a PTI in the military. I thought I'd be a personal trainer, and then from that, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of looking at neurology and helping people with chronic pain and movement dysfunctions, and also helping people improve their performance on certain tasks they wanted to do. And now I treat really interesting cases. It's still kind of personal training, but it's more of a therapy as well. And from that, it's something that a few years ago I'd have said was a little bit rubbish, but I've kind of gone to remote work as well. So treating or helping people without actually being with them.
Oh, wow. Was there anything that happened with you that made you want to do this?
Yeah. I mean, being in the military, you get injuries, and I've had a few different injuries, and I think anyone in kind of our field where your job is helping people, it always comes from a place of self-help. Really, we do it because we want to help ourselves, and I was looking at injuries, and I've worked in gyms, and I'm not into bodybuilding. I've done a lot of endurance, but I wanted to use the body as the tool itself. So that kind of got me into it. And I saw a video of a guy called Steve Maxwell. He's an American coach, and he was on about a thing called vestibular reset. And that kind of sparked my interest because I've never heard of it. Because Facebook is Facebook, I started getting loads of adverts for a thing called AMN Academy. And it's the Applied Movement Neurology Academy, run by a guy called David Fleming. And I've gone through their education, and then I found out that as a personal trainer, I didn't actually know that much.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, no, this topic that we're going to talk about in a minute. I mean, I've had a lot of comments and questions about this because I think it is, some people might think, oh, it's woo-woo, and other people think it's fascinating. I'm so interested in this topic. So you chose for today quantum phenomena and treating pain across the cosmos. So first of all, can you break that down and tell us what that actually means, and then why you chose it for today?
Yeah. So quantum phenomena, it's something that's been proven now. Even Einstein studied it. He left it because it confused him. But to break it down as simply as I can, bear in mind I'm not a physicist.
That's okay. Yeah, well, that's all.
Yeah, you've got atoms make up everything. Within an atom, you've got the nucleus. That's made of neutrons, which have no charge, protons, which are tiny and have a positive charge, and around that, in orbit, you've got electrons that have a negative charge. Now, if you think kind of like the solar system, you've got planets orbiting the sun. You can kind of look at an atom like that. So if we take Earth and Mars, for instance, if we look at quantum science, they can both be in a particular orbit, but they can't be in the space in between that orbit. Does that make sense?
No. Sorry, say that again. So they can both be so they're both going around.
So you've got Earth in Earth's orbit, Mars in Mars's orbit.
Yeah.
Technically, they can both be in one orbit, or they can both be in the other, but they can't be in the space in between. So what will happen is that it'll split. So imagine Earth splitting into two.
Yeah.
And it rotates one way in Earth's orbit, and then it'll appear with the other half in Mars's orbit, rotating in the opposite direction, and that's called the superposition. So it can exist in two spaces at the same time.
Oh, wow, that's so fascinating. Okay.
Yeah, that's what superposition is. And now there's lots of different theories to do with quantum theory. So there's a thing called coherence theory, which involves resonance. The resonance is just the way things vibrate. Everything vibrates its energy, so the whole world moves, and the whole universe works with energy.
Yes,
everything vibrates.
Is it like the quantum? Is it all about like everything's happening at the same time? Like with time, there's no future or present. It's all happening now.
Yeah. So the idea of coherence and resonance is that, excuse me, if you think about a guitar string, and then you've got another guitar string next to it. If a guitar string's vibrating, it produces a sound, but those sound waves will move across to the next guitar string. And if it's tuned to the right frequency, they'll resonate and move at the same speed. And that's kind of the idea of coherence. So you'll have the sound happening in one place, but at exactly the same time it's happening in another place.
Wow.
There's quantum tunneling, which means that solid matter can move through solid matter. And then there's a few other different theories around. So I think the main thing to think about is atoms have got a lot of space. So as we're made up of atoms, that means that we've got a lot of space with us. So technically, you never actually touch anything because there's always space between you. And then when you do touch something, what's actually happening is the electrons are repelling each other. And it's kind of like, when you've got two magnets and you put the same poles together and it pushes away.
Yeah.
That's what the sensation of touch is. So you never actually touch anything.
That's just blown my mind anyway. But no, it's so interesting. I mean, there's so much to obviously know about this topic. So keeping it simple. So for this title, you chose quantum phenomena. So what does this actually mean for us? Imagine there's people watching who maybe are a bit like me. They don't really know that much about this. Like what does it mean in simple terms, your title?
Okay.
I know.
So when we think of quantum phenomena, I've said about coherence, and then there's quantum entanglement. Basically, it means, like I said, you can have something existing in one space and in another space at exactly the same time.
Oh yeah.
So it means that you can move information. If we look at it as information, we can move information faster than the speed of light across any distance. I've used it with clients where they need to do a stretch. They're either not capable of doing the stretch because of physical disabilities, or they're not around. The stretch is there to either improve the flexibility or to get rid of the pain. So I've performed the stretch on myself, but worked out assessments for what their protocol is. And then they've received the benefits. I know it sounds very strange. It is. Even I think it's strange when I do it. But
no, I'm trying to think of, it sounds like this other therapy that I've heard of where I can't remember what it's called, where I remember I had a session and she was doing things. She was saying things and doing things, but I was like getting the benefits from it. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. Yeah, it sounds similar to that. I don't know if it's the same. So what? So basically you're doing you're healing somebody else by healing yourself. No.
Not quite. So
I don't really get it.
So the protocol for them, say a stretch, might be stretching a muscle for 15 seconds. And then I use a thing called deep tendon reflexes. When you tap on a deep tendon reflex, it'll affect muscles, and then you can increase the leverage of the muscle. What we do is use orthopedic manual muscle assessments or tests. And that uses their nervous system to answer questions. So it's never guessing.
No.
It's always whatever they need.
So I would come to you. So somebody would come to you, they have pain. They have a painful back or something. They have pain in their back. They've tried everything. Nothing's working. So they've come to you. And how would it work, the process?
So I would get a medical history of them, because it's all about information.
Okay.
Where you get pain isn't necessarily the cause of the pain. So pain can be caused from anywhere, and pain is a symptom. And I class like mental issues, physical pain, even phantom limb pain. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
So we use their nervous system using muscle tests. How I normally do it is I do it myself. But if we're using someone, have their arm out.
Right.
I'll apply pressure, and we ask questions. Now, if it's not the answer, they'll be pushing up, and I won't be able to push down.
Oh.
If it reaches the answer that we need through their nervous system, they will get a relaxation response in their arm, and their arm will go straight down.
Wow.
You can do it yourself as well by, there's different ways. So if you stand with your feet together, eyes closed, say something that's true.
Oh,
like my name is Jasmine. You'll sway a certain way.
Yeah.
And then say something that's a lie, like my name is Ken. You'll sway a different way, and it's a similar kind of process.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've had sessions like this before. Yeah, something healing, theta healing, is it? I don't know. Yeah. It's like basically you're speaking to your body, subconscious. Yeah.
So we use those tests to build up a stack of information, which we can then treat, because without the information, you're just guessing.
Yes. And then what then? So once you've got all of the information, how do you treat it then?
So what I used to do, what I still do as well, is we're bioelectrical, so we use electricity, and if you tap on bone, you create an electrical charge called piezoelectricity, and depending on what you've got in their stack, you can swipe certain areas of their body which will relate to it. So the vestibular system, for instance, you'd put a finger in their ear because you've got a contact for a nerve there, which works with your vestibular system. And then when you tap on bone, because you've already touched the place, it's ready to receive charge. When you tap bone, it affects charge around the area, and that can elicit change. The same principle is with someone that is 100 miles away, but we use slightly different processes because we're using quantum theory and a load of other stuff to do with space, like fractal resonance, and there's things that I understand it. I can't explain it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very complex. But so like, as you said, you do a lot of work online, so you don't need to be in the same room as somebody. So how would that work? You tell them to do things.
I've done that in the past, and then the way it's changing with some of the remote work is certain visualizations, and it's down to intention, because when you're thinking about doing something particular, as long as you've got the information and know where you're going through it, then you're using different energy systems and quanta, so that quantum field to make the change. So they can just sit there and do their own thing, do a crossword, whatever they want. But yeah, in the past I've done it and got people to tap themselves on the head, or I've even just written things down, sent it to someone and said, read that out, give yourself a tap, and they've found massive change.
Wow. Oh, we've got a question on Instagram. Hi, Sarah, how are you doing? She says, is it true that our thoughts and feelings can change how much pain we feel?
Yeah. So it's a slightly different thing, but when you think about the emotional system has a massive influence over the rest of the body, because it produces different hormones, produces different effects. So even a thought process creates energy and changes vibrational resonance. Excuse me. There's even studies that have shown that telomeres, which are the end of strands of DNA, shorten as we get older. And there was a study into women with increased stress, and they found that ladies, I think there were ladies that had trouble with childbirth or grieving when they'd lost children. They found that their telomeres shortened a lot quicker. So that was an indication of speeding up aging by the way they were thinking and by the way they were feeling. And then there's a thing called meta meditation. It's METTA.
Okay.
They've started using it, also I've been told, in America with PTSD patients in the US forces.
Yeah.
Now they've found that by using meta meditation, you can slow down the degradation of telomeres as well. So you can also prolong your life by the way you think in that way. And there's lots of evidence around about using journals and doing mantras and meditation. And there's lots of evidence that show that mindfulness can improve physical health.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Yes. Yeah, she's put a smiley face. Yeah, no, I mean, it's so interesting, isn't it? Like how most things, it's all sort of linked, isn't it? And it's all about, like you said, the thoughts, the words we say to ourselves, and how much of a huge impact it has on us. I mean, I know that as well. I mean, you saw a little bit of my story on LinkedIn about when I was really depressed. And I remember when I was that depressed, I was saying awful things to myself, awful things. And I remember the doctor used to always say, you're on the path to self-destruction. It was just my words. My words just made me ill, basically. And it's like, well, if your words can make you ill, then they can probably heal you as well. So it is fascinating. But we need reminding, don't we? Constantly. I do. I forget.
Yeah. No, during COVID, I wrote a lesson on mental health. And it wasn't do this, do that. It was about how mental health works and what makes you feel good and how hormones are released. And it was actually based around the nervous system and how that affects mental health. And I found that by writing that and learning more about actually how the brain works, it kind of negates how you're feeling, because you think, I feel like this is terrible. And then you look at it, actually, I feel like that because this is happening. I know the chemical process. Actually, it's just my brain being a mess.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to that, you kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right.
And you don't need to feel terrible. You don't need to have that terrible thing at the end. It's like, okay, I'm just feeling like this, but that's okay. I don't need to beat myself up about feeling like that.
Exactly.
It's a whole process. I've got another question from Sarah again. She says, I think you've kind of answered this, but how does energy or vibration play a part in healing pain?
Okay. Everything vibrates, even down to cells, like I said, atoms, molecules, everything vibrates. Now, it's going to have a perfect frequency for it to resonate at. When we get maladaptive processes or illness or injuries, it changes the frequency it resonates at. So if you think of energy as just resonance or waveforms, that's what's happening. So when we start to change the waveform or the resonance of something that's injured or tissue that's injured, we can start to heal it or make it worse. There's lots of research into earthing or grounding, like standing on the ground barefoot or using mats.
I love that.
Now that works on the Schumann resonance. I can't remember what the actual resonance is, the number of it, but it's a certain frequency. And for humans, through evolution, that's been the most beneficial resonance for us, because it attunes with everything. The other thing with resonance is we have brain waves, and you've got a different scale of brain waves that elicit different actions within the brain. So using things like binaural beats to do entrainment in the brain will affect your thought patterns. But also, as you affect your thought patterns, that affects everything else down the chain within your nervous system. So each little change, think of it like throwing a stone into a pond and you've got ripples. Then you throw another stone next to it and that affects the ripples.
Yeah.
The first stone you throw, if that makes any sense.
Kind of, but it's quite complex. Yeah, no, it's so interesting though. It's so interesting. So what would you say? Oh, one more question from Sarah again. How long does it usually take to feel better using quantum healing?
It depends. So it depends on the individual, depends on what their issue is, and it depends on their life story as well, because their life story will start to build up how they are at the current moment. So your nervous system never forgets. If something happens to you, your nervous system will store it and it'll remember it normally at the worst moment. And that's why we get people with anxiety, depression, because it's a self-protection mechanism, but it doesn't always play right. The same as overstretching as well. You know, when you stretch and you get a little pain, it'll pull back. That's just your brain trying to stop you damaging the muscle, but it kicks in a lot earlier than you need to. So you've got like three different types of pain. You've got the initial bit of pain, which is nociception. So say you get a cut, you'll receive that as a pain message because you've got an injury. Then you've got inflammation pain, when all loads of fluids go to the site to protect it. And then after that, if you've got chronic pain, it's like 3 months or more, that's pathological, and that's your brain remembering pain or a certain system to protect, and it's trying to protect you. So it depends on what's going on and how deep that is. But I've helped people get out of pain pretty quick, and for me, I want to get people out of pain as quick as I can, because one, I don't want people to be in pain, and two, it also means that I'm doing my job properly.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. When you said about the nervous system, so what do you think about because our body remembers everything. Our body remembers everything. It's so intelligent. It remembers everything. But how do you feel about healing your nervous system then? Because we might be traumatized by one experience, but we can heal that, or do you think it's always there? That's a hard question.
So I think it's going to be there, but it's changing the parameters of what is dangerous within your nervous system.
Yeah.
So I've been military. I've been to some dodgy places.
Yeah.
And been on exercise and had some things happen on exercise. And it's the same, like with your story about grief. So grief's still a protection measurement.
Yeah.
But by changing the parameters of what the danger is, will change the way that affects your nervous system. I think I've answered that too.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I know it's another complex thing as well, isn't it? I guess. Yeah. I'm sort of processing what you said, but it's I have to process.
It's kind of bringing the system back to a sense of homeostasis. So where again, there's another doctor called Dr. Gabor Mate. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he says that we don't ever recover from trauma, doesn't he?
Yeah. So you've got small T trauma, big T trauma. So it depends on. So getting blown up, for instance, that would be a big T. That would be traumatic for most people. Whereas something that you look at someone with a trauma, say their mom reaches out to them. They reach out to their mom as a baby. The mom turns around to do something else and just doesn't notice. That can trigger a traumatic response.
Yes.
So it's still going to be stored there. Still going to be in the nervous system. But again, it's how we change the resonance, because like I said, all thought process still creates resonance. It's still an energy. This is where it starts consciousness as well. when we start to change the resonance within the consciousness or the emotional system, that's going to change the way we respond to trauma or the remembered trauma.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. Just one more thing, because I know we're running out of time, but also as well, because I had a lot of therapy for my grief and coaching, where I just learned how to like process those emotions that I'd stored in my body. I mean, that really helped as well. But it sort of doesn't make sense though when you think about everything that you're saying as well, and what a lot of people say, because it's not just the fact that you process the emotions and then the experience is gone in your body, it's still there. I don't know, it's actually really complex. I can't even explain what I'm trying to say, but do you know what I mean? Even if you process, because I feel much lighter now, I've processed, but I probably do have, there's probably something still there. So do you believe that processing emotions can help you heal from the trauma? For me, I think it has, but I'm just wondering what your perspective is.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have, once you've been through a traumatic experience, you're still going to remember it.
Yeah.
But processing it, and again, it's processing it in the way where it removes or changes the parameters of what the actual danger is.
Right.
So it'll still be there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've had grief in my life as well. You never forget losing family members or anything like that. But the way you deal with it is going to be slightly different.
Yeah, and the emotion attached to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
I think, your post that you put up was about teen grief.
Yeah.
And the way you are at a time when something happens as well. So
that's true.
How your emotional state at a particular time. So say someone in a car crash, depending on how you're feeling at the time and your perspective on life in general, compared to someone else, it can change the way you perceive it as a traumatic event.
Oh wow, that's yeah. There's a lot of and that's why I think you can't just say one thing, can you? It really, every situation is so unique and so different, and there's always exceptions and millions of factors actually at play. Yeah. Your genes, probably how, your environment, so much. No, Rob, we could talk about this. It's so interesting. I'm gonna have to have you on again, and we talk a little bit more about this because it's so interesting. But is there anything else you feel like you need to say before we go that you haven't mentioned?
No, I think I chose quantum phenomena and treating pain across the cosmos because it gets people's interest, but that is it can be done as well. There's studies into it. There's lots of information about quantum phenomena, fractal space, and holographic space as well. The idea of how information can be transported around the cosmos. And from working with people, and I've actually done it with people without them actually being there and without knowing, and they've come back and I've said, how's your whatever issue it was? Oh, yeah, it's got better. What I have found is the tapping. So I used to use tapping, light and vibration because that changed frequencies of resonance. I found that works more quickly, but the quantum stuff lasts longer and has a better effect.
Oh wow. Okay. I think people have to explore, don't they, as well?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's super interesting. But how can people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook, but I've got a website. It's chrysalis-fitness.com.
Can you post that on the original post?
Yeah.
Just click on it.
I've got
all your links.
I've got a link tree as well. However, I can never remember what the actual link is because I just click on it. But,
if you can post everything on the post and then People, if anyone's interested, they can.
I'll put it all on there. But you can just search for chrysalis-fitness.com as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's been amazing. If you have any questions, comments about today's live, please email or message Rob directly or put a comment in the post, and Rob or myself will get back to you. And thank you so much, Rob. Absolute pleasure. And see everybody next week.
Thank you very much.